Breaking news, or should I say, breaking Hollywood, because what just happened inside that courtroom makes every celebrity scandal before this looked like a school play. Imagine this: flashing cameras, reporters tripping over cables, and to silence so thick you could slice it with a diamond-studded lawyer's pen. And then, out of nowhere, country music's former golden boy, Keith Urban, finds his name tattooed all over the world's most radioactive headline: Keith's dark secrets exposed. But wait, who's holding the detonator? None other than Maggie Baugh, the woman everyone underestimated. The one they called a background act. Now standing center stage holding a silver phone like it's the nuclear launch code to Hollywood's dirtiest secrets. What's on that phone? Texts, messages, proof. The kind of receipts that make million-dollar smiles crumble. And as that screen lit up in court, the fairy tale image of fame and fortune turned into a full-blown horror movie. Keep her quiet. She knows too much. That's what one message read, and the world collectively gasped. But the real question is, who's really pulling the strings here? Is Maggie the whistleblower Hollywood never saw coming? Or just the spark that sets fire to an empire built on silence, secrets, and stardust? Buckle up, this story isn't just trending, it's detonating. Let's rewind to where it all began: the glittering red carpets, the interviews dripping with fake smiles, and a picture-perfect friendship that was supposedly built on music and mutual respect. Right? Because behind those award show hugs and Instagram captions, something darker was brewing. Maggie Baugh and Keith Urban were once seen as the unstoppable duo of the country. Seen her, the rising star with the voice of an angel. Him, the seasoned legend with a halo of fame. But what if that halo was hiding horns all along? According to insiders, their collaboration on a chart-topping single wasn't just about music. It was a cover-up for something much messier. Studio engineers whispered about late-night arguments. Producers allegedly heard heated exchanges over royalties. And one assistant claimed she saw Maggie storm out of a session, phone in hand, saying, "He thinks I won't tell them what he did." Fast forward a few months, and that same phone has become Exhibit A in one of the most talked about celebrity scandals of the decade. The so-called Maggie Files, a collection of leaked texts and voice memos, allegedly detail manipulation, blackmail, and a shocking misuse of power. In one message, Keith reportedly wrote, "You owe me silence if you want success." Creepy, right? And yet, for years, no one dared to question him. The music industry brushed it all under the rug until now, because Maggie didn't just leak the messages. She leaked the truth behind an entire facade. Rumors say she handed over hundreds of texts to her legal team, each one more damning than the last. What started as a personal feud has exploded into a full-blown scandal, with lawyers, fans, and even sponsors getting dragged into the mud. A leaked documents, supposedly, from an anonymous insider close to Maggie claims she faced intense pressure to stay quiet. They told her she'd never work in Nashville again, the report reads. But instead of fading away, Maggie decided to light the fuse, and the timing. Oh, it's deliciously ironic. The leaks came just days before Keith's massive tour announcement, a PR dream turned nightmare overnight. Within hours, hashtags like Keith Exposed and Justice for Maggie started trending worldwide. Twitter became a courtroom of its own, with fans posting screenshots, theories, and memes faster than lawyers could draft denials. Some defended Keith, calling Maggie a clout chaser. Others labeled her a hero. But amid all the noise, one question echoed louder than ever. What else does she have? Because if these texts are real, they're not just career-ending, they could rewrite the story of one of music's most beloved figures. And just as the industry tried to control the narrative, something even bigger dropped, the part of the scandal nobody saw coming. One that would take this story from mere gossip to full-blown investigation. The courtroom was packed the next. Morning journalists shoulder to shoulder, flashbulbs firing like gunshots, and whispers ricocheting through the gallery. Everyone wanted to see what Maggie had next. And then, in a move that stunned even her harshest critics, her lawyer dropped a bombshell, a series of voice recordings allegedly captured during private meetings between Maggie and Keith. The tapes, as described by reporters inside the courtroom, were chilling, manipulative, and career-destroying. One clip, which allegedly features Keith's voice, says, "You'll never make it if you don't play the game my way." The room froze. The judge demanded silence, but the damage was already done. Outside the courthouse, protesters chanted, "Hold him accountable," while fans online tore through every detail like digital detectives. By the afternoon, media outlets were running 24-hour coverage. Talk shows speculated about secret NDAs, record label bribes, and a mysterious fund allegedly used to silence young artists. One unverified report even claimed Keith had ties with a shadowy PR group that specialized in reputation laundering, paying bloggers and influencers to bury damaging stories. Twitter exploded. Screenshots of supposed leaked contracts went viral within hours. Document painting a darker picture of corruption in Nashville's elite circles. Was it all true? No one knew for sure. But the chaos was too addictive to stop watching. And then came the twist. An anonymous user claiming to be an ex-insider posted a thread on Reddit that broke the internet. The post, titled, "I worked for Keith Urban's team. Here's what you don't know," described a toxic culture of intimidation, secret payments, and even hidden recordings allegedly used to blackmail industry rivals. He controlled everything, the post read, from radio airplay to award show nominations. Maggie was just the first to say no. Within minutes, the thread had over 50,000 comments and screenshots being reposted everywhere. Whether it was real or not didn't even matter anymore. The court of public opinion had already handed down its verdict. Meanwhile, Keith's legal team scrambled. They issued a statement calling the leaks malicious fabrications and accused Maggie's side of staging a social media circus. But insiders claimed panic had already set in. Sponsors began to distance themselves quietly. A luxury brand reportedly paused a multi-million-dollar endorsement deal. Even longtime collaborators started unfollowing Keith on social media, pretending they hadn't seen the news. The empire was cracking. And fast. And while Keith's camp fought to contain the blaze, Maggie played her next move like a pro. She released a cryptic post on Instagram. "Truth doesn't fear exposure." No hashtags, no explanation. Just that one line, and it set off a frenzy. Comment sections erupted with theories. Influencers dissected every word. And YouTube channels started dropping evidence breakdowns like mini documentaries. The scandal had officially crossed the line from gossip to cultural phenomenon, and just when everyone thought it couldn't get wilder, new evidence surfaced that would shake the entire narrative to its core. That night, the internet went into meltdown. A mysterious Dropbox link started circulating on X and Reddit labeled Project Harmony files. Within minutes, it was trending worldwide. The link supposedly contained hundreds of private documents, emails, and payment records tied to Keith's production company. And if even half of it was real, it meant this scandal wasn't just about Maggie yet, was about a much larger network of manipulation and cover-ups spanning years. According to the leaked documents, several young artists had allegedly been pressured into exclusive contracts under questionable circumstances, with bonuses disguised as career investments, screenshots of wire transfers, fake invoices, and even internal memos titled "Damage Control." Maggie incident began circulating like wildfire. No one could verify the authenticity, but the narrative had already taken root. Keith Urban wasn't just guilty of arrogance or manipulation, he was the puppet master of an entire system built on silence. Mainstream outlets finally caught up. Major news networks dedicated prime-time slots to the unfolding chaos. Commentators debated whether the leaks were genuine or an elaborate revenge stunt, but the numbers didn't lie. Keith's latest single was pulled from playlists. Ticket sales plummeted overnight. Brands that once bragged about partnerships were suddenly reviewing their affiliations. Meanwhile, Maggie's name was everywhere, from tabloids to think pieces about women in the music industry taking back their power. She became a symbol, whether she wanted to or not. But behind the viral fame and hashtags, new questions emerged. Who leaked the Dropbox link? Was it Maggie's team? A hacker? Or, as one conspiracy thread suggested, someone from inside Keith's own circle trying to save themselves before the ship sank? A supposed insider email shared by a whistleblower blog claimed that key staff had been ordered to destroy company data before federal authorities could intervene. Another message allegedly referenced potential charges and emergency meetings with label executives. Whether truth or fiction, the world was hooked. Fiction, the world was hooked. Keith finally broke his silence in a late-night statement that did little to calm the fire. Standing in front of a stark white backdrop, he denied every allegation, claiming he was the victim of a malicious smear campaign designed to ruin his reputation. But the damage was irreversible. Every denial was dissected, every phrase turned into a meme. PR experts called it too little, too late. Fans flooded his social media with snake emojis and demands for accountability. And as the world watched his empire collapse in real time, Maggie stayed silent, a silence louder than any statement. Rumors of investigations by the Department of Justice began circulating, with sources hinting at sealed subpoenas and upcoming testimonies. Whether any of that turns out to be true is anyone's guess. But one thing's certain, this scandal has rewritten the playbook for fame, power, and exposure. Because when the lights fade and the cameras stop rolling, one question still echoes through the noise: was this justice, revenge, or just another story crafted perfectly for clicks and chaos? So, what do you think? Did Maggie just expose the truth? Or did she play the perfect revenge game? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this story is far from over. And if you want more shocking revelations and untold celebrity scandals, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for the next big leak.